It's showtime.
Who are these socials?
Taking down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these socials?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Karl
This is all just for the radio.
and Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these
We are
socials?
the number one podcast on the internet today.
WATS.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to answer the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? This is the only podcast about social media that is prescribed by your physician, if your physician is Dr. Steve. I'm your host, Karl Hamburger. With me, as always, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. It seems like Carl is very nervous about this new computer system he has, and it seems like one false move could blow the whole operation. So everyone, no sudden movements. Just
Yeah,
be very
sit
careful.
still. Don't drop your phone.
Very careful.
All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. There are rumors going around that the fires in LA are a result of gross incompetence and that I won't read your super chats. The latter is simply not true. I will read every super chat, but I don't read so good, as you know. So feel free to take advantage of the super tip system, supertip.gg/WATP. Go there and you can donate to the show and either have your super chat read or have an AI voice read your super chat to us. And we appreciate that. Now, Mike, the way we start off the show is unlike any other show. I take pride in this. I don't know if you do.
Very much so.
Okay, good. Because I feel like it's something special that we've kind of discovered and latched onto. And I don't know, I didn't listen to the radio in the 30s and the 40s. Maybe this was a thing. But I feel like we're the only ones doing it in this era. And what Mike and I do is we start off our show with a little thing that I like to refer to as banter. And so the banter is this playful back and forth, a little conversation. You're not even sure if you're in it or not. It seems like maybe you are, like you're at a party and you're standing next to these guys and you're looking at them and they're looking at you and you're like, hey, can I talk now? And you're like, no, probably not. You know, these guys are kind of riffing over here.
It's never been done on any podcast before. We've kind of perfected it, but in the wrong hands, it could be disastrous.
That's true. So I don't want this getting out there. Guys, if you're listening to this, don't tell other podcasters about this banter thing.
No. We're professionals. Be safe.
Yeah. Leave this stuff to us. We got to get right into it.
Karl and Mike gonna talk about what they like. They're gonna chew the shit, as it's been said. And you know when you get to this part of the show, well, it's time for the banter. 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 All right.
We received a text message. Of course, you can always call. We play voicemails at the end of the show. Whoarethese.com is where you get the number. You can also text that number. And I just wanted to read you this message, Mike, so because you didn't see it yet.
Oh, no.
I'd just like to say that you and Blind Mike have saved my life by making fun of internet retards. I have finally found my safe space.
Well, listen, being a hero is no easy task. And a lot of people come up to me on the street and say, how are you so heroic? And I say, get out of here. It's second nature to me. It's really what you guys do for me that makes me become a hero. That's how I think of it.
Well, that's interesting because people ask me on the street, how are you so resilient? And I always say, you got a minute? This is going to take a little while. I explain to them all the things that I do that make me so great. Maybe that's the wrong approach.
I thought you might take that compliment in stride and just tell me I'm crazy. But I know you're going to make me stand here for 40 minutes.
You were going to want to get out a pen and write down some notes here. I got some really good information.
Why are you taking your phone out? What is this?
I want to talk to you about these California fires. It seems like they have things under control now, but yesterday things were pretty hairy.
Yes, I found out because I was not following this news. And then my intrepid producer, Casey Day, messaged me and said, hey, I've got a backup plan in case my house burns down, so don't worry.
How is Casey Day? Is he all right?
I said, what the hell are you talking about? So, it seems like he is good. He'll be good to go for Sunday, which I know is most important for everyone. But no, I think it was scary for a little while, but I guess he's all right.
That's good to hear. I was doing WTP yesterday with Adam Bush, who lives in L.A.
All right.
Yes, and when we got done, Adam goes, all right, guys, I really got to run. I got to figure out what's going on here. He was getting bombarded with messages the entire time he's on the show about evacuations and it's time to go. And he's like, you know, I'm in LA. I'm used to this kind of stuff. But it really started piling up to the point where he was not fully there with me.
Oh, man.
While he was watching this. He's fine. I talked to him today. It's all good.
So Sunday, it's very likely, whether it's AI or real, there will be flames behind Casey Day in the background.
Yes, let's hope for the real kind this time. And I was also concerned about other friends of ours out there, like Dick Masterson and Vito Giswaldi. I went to TikTok. I don't want to bother people. I'm sure everyone's reaching out to them when this kind of thing happens.
Right.
So I went to TikTok, I went to Twitter, actually, to see if things were okay. Vito was having a little bit too much fun with it.
Fun.
Yeah. Okay. Vito was like going around to houses that had just burned down and like filming hip hop videos in them.
Oh.
And shit. Yeah, he was having a little bit too much fun.
That's interesting.
I was
Isn't that the guy that was threatening people because they said they know where he lives or something?
Yeah, he was the one who was all concerned people were going to show up at his house.
Okay. I guess if it was rubble, he wouldn't care as much.
Right. Well, that's what I kind of thought, because when he was showing these houses at first, I'm like, oh shit, is that Vito's house?
Yeah.
So I actually texted him. I'm like, the cat's okay, because obviously that fat piece of crap got out of there all right. But apparently it was a little ways from his place.
Thank God.
So he's going to be okay. But there's another person who was affected. Well, a lot of people were.
Yeah.
But Whitney Cummings.
I want your guys' opinion on this, because I have a certain take on videos like this. I've talked about it in the past. Am I an asshole for judging this as harshly as I am? I'll be curious to see what you guys think.
All right, let's take a look.
So I am evacuating my home, and it's so hard to leave the podcast studio behind. I know that's like sounds insane, but I have everything, like my son's birth certificate, but just to leave all this, podcast studio is such a big deal to me because it connected me to so many of you guys. And just to give you an idea, this is the podcast studio, and then
she has a child.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see.
So she's showing out the window, and she's showing the smoke coming over from the other side of the hill from these fires. So it's very close.
And if you told me, hey, Whitney Cummings privately had a meltdown because she was told to evacuate her home and her podcast studio might burn down, I'd say, oh, God, that's terrible. My stuff with these videos, she took out her phone.
Yep.
She was evidently crying and chose willingly to take out her phone in that moment, pause whatever she was doing, whatever evacuation system she was going through. She stopped that to give you a tour of her podcast studio and show you what it's like outside her house, and post it to TikTok for content and views, and so people would reach out and be like, "Oh my God, Whitney, that's so terrible." And I don't mind Whitney. She's done some things to redeem her reputation in my eyes over the last few years.
Right.
But this was it felt like fake Hollywood bullshit. It's like I said about Brendan Schaub. People give me shit because I made fun of Brendan Schaub for making a video where he's crying about his daughter being sick. And my point was, it's not about his daughter being sick that I'm making fun of him. It's he was lying at the time, which I was proven right. But more so, he took his phone out. If you're in a state where you're panicked and you don't know what to do, you're hysterical, you're not like, ooh, TikTok views. I forgot about those.
Yeah, when you're crying is not the time that you want to go online to a normal person. Whitney is 42 years old, and her first instinct is, oh, I'm crying and upset. I got to capture this for TikTok. I got to get some clout out of this.
Right. If she was on her podcast and was like, I was hysterical. It's crazy. It might sound crazy, but I was worried about the podcast studio and thinking of all the memories we have there and blah, blah, blah. If she said that after the fact, I'm not playing the clip and making fun of her for it.
Of course.
It's that you're in the middle of it and your first thought is content. That's psychotic.
Well, it is psychotic. If she was 26, if she was Haktua, I'd be like, all right, I get it. That's the world you're
life,
in.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's how you grew up. That's the world, that kind of thing. But she's 42 years old. She might just need therapy.
I think in that world, I'm in therapy, so understand where I'm coming from when I say this. I think in that world, it might be too much therapy.
Okay.
It's like, I'm so in touch with my emotions, guys. Look at me.
Okay.
Look at
You
how
would know better
evolved
than
I
me.
am.
I rarely recommend therapy for people, so you would know better than me. I appreciate that. I happen to be wrong.
There's a section of comics that talk a lot about how much therapy they go to and how great it is for them. I mean, you've studied Howard Stern well enough to know.
Oh, yeah.
You can do a lot of therapy and still be pretty poorly adjusted.
Howard, we did a segment on WTP yesterday. He's talking to Nikki Glazer, and she got an hour's sleep and then had to go over to the Sirius XM building and do this interview with Howard the first thing Monday morning. And he is mad at her for not going to these big celebrity parties and trying to network with A-listers. And it's
Well,
like,
then why book her on Monday? Book her on Tuesday.
Well, right. Yeah. Like, he didn't have to do that, so she had to get up early and everything. But also, I had newfound respect for Nikki Glazer because she's just like, no, I had my family and friends, and we just hung out at the thing, and I didn't need to go out, hang out with all the celebrities and stuff like that. And Howard's going, well, that's what I would have done. I was like, yeah, that's the problem, Howard. That's why you've lost your way.
Not to get too far off track, but I just put together an episode about the downfall of Jimmy Kimmel, and Howard Stern is featured in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I plan on talking a lot about how the celebrities that Jimmy Kimmel attracted, like at first you kind of hear Howard like, I don't really want to be a part of it, and now he's obsessed with it.
Yep.
And you see that evolution over time, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel was the gateway drug.
Yeah, I think he definitely
Howard
was.
Stern, yeah. Bad influences on each other, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Let me finish up this video, see if there's anything else.
So it's pretty close, you know. I don't know what I'm gonna lose, but it's like weirdly like you really find out what matters to you when you have to evacuate. I'm not taking the cameras. I'm just like taking little trinkets and like stuff that you guys gave me at shows and
What?
Hey, in these times, you mean the most to me.
Yeah, I know.
I have a child and a boyfriend and a...
Yeah, she's like, I'm crying about this podcast because that's how I've gotten to know all of you people. You don't know them at all, and I'm taking the trinkets people gave me at shows. No, you're not. It's the dumbest use of space.
It's a video for likes, which is unbelievable. Like,
Yes.
I'm trying to... 9/11 wouldn't be a good example because you didn't see it coming, but I'm trying to think of a disaster where if it happened now, people would be like, this is pretty crazy, huh, guys? This is wild. Look at what we're going through.
Can I ask you this question? Because, you were concerned about how this would come off talking about
Yeah.
Whitney's response to this. I'm concerned about how this is going to come off because I have friends there. But
Go ahead.
is there a funnier place for all the houses to burn down than L.A.?
Well, so what you're saying is it's not funny.
No,
Of
of
course.
course not. No, I don't think it's funny. But is there a
But
funnier place?
Is there a funnier place?
Right. I don't think so.
Not in America that I can think of.
Well, I mean, even, yeah. Yeah, definitely not in America. Even third world countries, you just feel bad.
Yeah, no. Parts of Brooklyn, maybe? I don't know.
All right, I can get down with that. Mike, I got a brand new game for us. Brand new game. This is, we've done it before where you have to listen to the audio and guess what the video is. This, you have to listen to Woke Dad and try to figure out what he's talking about. Now, you don't know when this was recorded. Okay, so that's kind of the rub on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you'd
So I
find
have to
this
guess
interesting.
when it was recorded.
No, you have to figure out what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay? So it's going to be out of context at first.
Okay.
So I'm only going to play a little bit of it. And then you tell me what you think. Let me just get the volume up here. Okay. Here we go.
Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians.
What do you think he's talking about here, Mike?
Every morning.
It is the driving force of every single day I have the privilege of serving in this office.
What do you think he's talking about here?
Is this from him stepping down? Is this from the other day?
This is Justin Trudeau, yeah. Everyone is sending this to me going, does this sound like Woke Dad? It sounds identical to Woke Dad. David Alexander sent this to me. This is Lambert Bowman who sent this to
I'll
me.
explain to you what happened.
Okay, please. Yeah, you just thought I set it up wrong?
No. You set it up right for what you wanted.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, oh, this is clearly Justin Trudeau. Maybe I didn't listen to him. Because I'm pretty good with voices. So I was like, maybe I fucked up and misunderstood the game. So I'm going to give a real answer and say, oh, well, clearly, Karl, this is Justin Trudeau. And I fucked up the entire game. So I
should have found a spot that didn't start with as your prime minister. In hindsight, I kind of fucked this up too, I think. But we went for something. Oh, well. What are you going to do?
Yeah. He sounds like a douche, though. It was a long way of saying it, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, we'll play a little bit more. But the cadence and the way he approaches this.
That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country.
Oh, he's such a pussy.
And then he handed everyone a mug that he made that morning.
Yeah. He's like, by the way, it's $35, but if you could donate that.
There are
that'd be
kids in the
great.
art studio, I swear. They're on the other side of the wall.
Mike, let's play some music on here.
Who are these music? Who are these music?
Mike, do you play guitar?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Are you sure about that? Because seems like anyone can play the guitar, including our boy Cyrax here
Oh,
playing
yes.
along with the tunes.
Vocals sound good.
Do you think he's better or worse than King Cobra at electric guitar?
I'm going to guess better.
I think so too.
I hate to say
think
it,
it
but
might
I'm
be
gonna-
better than
I'm
King
gonna
Cobra, even
say
though
better.
he's playing nonsense. That came over from Brandon of the Worst of YouTube channel. He's formerly of Shitty Song of the Week. And we don't talk about Chance Wilkins very much on this show. I know when we first started talking about who should we be checking out, people sent us a lot of Cyrax clips, and we didn't really get into this as much. This is
We
one of
definitely
the
mentioned him, but there's a lot of lore with Cyrax that I'm just not. It was hard to decipher.
yeah, he's one of the net tards that the rabbit hole was a little too deep for us at the time. Maybe we'll get back into it
Yeah.
at a certain point, but we did decide to check in more on King Cobra.
Definitely.
Quite the personality.
He's simpler. For a mind like mine, he's easier to wrap it around, you know?
I agree with that. All right, let's head over to Instagram.
Blinded like Blind Mike. Don't be a douche. Instagram in the night. Blinded like Blind Mike. Check out these reels. They might make you wanna fight.
Oh, fuck it. I'm realizing right now that I am having an internet issue.
Guys, I warned you about this.
And somebody fucked it up. Somebody must have done something. Okay,
All right, nobody move.
It looks like it's better now. Nobody move. Nobody touch anything. I've been working on this for weeks to get this fixed. I thought I had it. But,
all right, guys, sign out and sign back in.
leave the room. All right, this is 2 Chainz, who is confronted with a AI robot. Do you want to give a little?
This is just how I feel every day. He's tapped into my mind. This is how I feel every time I see a video of Trump or Biden, or like the other day I saw one of Skip Bayless where like I know it's AI, but I can also tell it's getting very close to a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And the way 2 Chainz reacted here is it's my inner monologue for this stuff.
Okay, so he's talking to a human-sized robot here.
Hey, I'm Optimus.
Man, I'm finna do such a fucked up episode of Black Mirror to you.
What do you mean?
First thing you get delivered in my house, I'ma beat the fuck out of you, man.
Huh. Did you know that I can be used for lots of other things? Like, you can teach me how to play a new card game.
I'ma make Elon put a hole in your ass, and then I'ma fuck it.
Wow, I really wish you wouldn't.
And after I bust my nut, I'ma take my strap, put it against the back of your head, and blow it clean the fuck out, man.
Wow, I don't think you're supposed to do that to us.
After I kill you, I'ma order another one of you, but I'ma have him put your brain in the new body so you remember exactly who I am and what I did. And then I'ma do it again and again, probably until I die.
Why do you want to do that?
Basically, I'm like a sexual Dexter. Like, he was doing that shit to other serial killers. And also, he was a cop, so there was like a level of irony. But in my case, instead of irony, there's like a sci-fi element.
Huh. I guess I don't really see how that's like Dexter.
feel like rappers have lost their way. Like, they still have the mentality of getting into beefs, but they just don't know with who anymore.
Yeah, that could be, it's not directed at the right person in this case, but I got to tell you, I saw this. I want these two hosting a show together. Could you imagine there's a podcast where it's just 2 Chainz and this robot, and he just talks about what he's going to do when the show's over? Wait until the cameras turn off, motherfucker. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that.
What's sad is what I hope 2 Chainz is aware that he's doing is he's just feeding this beast to now know how we shit talk, too.
That's true, yeah.
It's just gaining there's no way we can beat them.
There's machine learning going on. We're just like, well, this is I've never heard of this kind of shit talking before. All right. And then I'll put the brain in the new one and then fuck that in the ass. All right.
It is.
That's
and
fun.
Eventually one day Alexa will talk like 2 Chainz, which will be nice.
That's what I'm going to get on board.
I hope so.
Too polite right now.
Yay, super chats.
All right, let's get into some super chats. Thank you all for being here and participating. Neelax44. Stuttering John going to wrongly blame Karl for canceled gig. Yeah, did you see that John's gig was canceled?
TM Zumak reporting as usual.
Yeah, so according to Chad, he got a call from the Cape Coral police because John was hosting this benefit show with a comic that was going to be on it to raise money for children's athletics. And they called Chad for some reason because they were getting all these complaints about John. They asked if John's threatened him, and Chad said, yes, he has. He's threatened me many times. And so John's off that show. Now, I don't think John was doing it for money. I think he was doing it to get out of like parking tickets and speeding tickets.
I do have to say there's something a little fishy here, and it might just be sloppy police work by Cape Coral PD.
Mm-hmm.
It seems odd that they would go, Mr. Zumak, has Mr. Melendez been mean to you? And Chad goes, yes, he has.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, hey, comedy club, cancel the gig with John Melendez.
Oh, no. It's not that. This isn't the show that he's being taken off of is the police fundraiser.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't understand
it's this week. Yeah, it's this weekend, John. Supposed to
that
be
makes
hosting.
a little more sense. All right.
Then it makes way more sense. It's just like, because I think what happened is everyone saw the poster where John's hosting this police fundraiser. And of course, the trolls started calling Cape Coral Police like, do you know who this asshole is? He's on the internet threatening to beat people up every day.
I do have to say to the trolls that did that, stop it. We want John to do comedy.
Right. There's people who bought tickets.
Don't report it. Go record it. I'll be with the picket signs out chanting that.
Right. That's it right there. Like, it's not going to bring him back into the Dabbleverse anytime sooner when you do that.
No, I want to see the comedy that John has been working on. So we need gigs.
The one-man show is almost done. I mean, he said on his cameo, I was watching the cameo, he's talking to a guy in the UK. He's just like, I might be in the UK soon with my one-man show.
I've heard Colin Quinn has a lot of great he's put together a lot of great one-man shows, and I've heard people ask him, how long does that take? And he says, about a week.
Yep. He's like, if I'm really focused, a weekend, but
it's really not a big it's not a big undertaking at all.
The fact that John is acting like he's going to have this ready to go soon. Anyway, I do want to see what his comedy is and what he's up to. Silent Shape became a YouTube member. Thank you, Silent Shape. And also Silent Shape gifted a YouTube membership. Thank you very much. Whoever got that membership, you can watch WTP live every Wednesday at 5, every Saturday at 2. Anytime thereafter as well, the live unedited shows and 2 bonus shows. I'm actually going to do a bonus show with Dick Masterson, I think, on Tuesday. We're going to do another crossover. So if you're a member on the channel, you'll see that under the community tab or the membership tab. We'll have links to that. Clearwater Chad, $2 says, Karl, did you receive my email? I did, Clearwater Chad. I will get back to you. I appreciate you reaching out. What do you think about this character?
I think he's delightful. I like Clearwater Chad.
I was debating on WTP yesterday. I know you debated it on Blind Mike Project.
Yeah.
When he went off John's last show ever, and then they brought him back on. And he was talking to his brother on the phone. Whether or not that was a thought out bit.
Yeah.
Or if that was like literally him getting caught having a conversation with his brother. I honestly can't tell. And when I show it to people and ask them, I get mixed reviews.
Yeah. The instinct is to say it's fake because it's seemingly no one would talk like that.
It's too perfect. It works out too perfectly.
But then you watch his channel and you're like, well, I'm not so sure.
I know. It's so weird. The whole thing's so weird. I want to ask him about it. Raper Butt, $2. Banter Boy sounds like gay British porn. Oh, you wish. You wish that's what you were watching right now. Yeah, I called this episode Banter Boys.
Oh, okay.
It's the name of the episode. Because I was looking through like what we were talking about. Nothing jumped out at me. So I was like, we can always do
That's
bad.
good.
Karl's Frosted Tips.
Auf der Heide blüht ein kleines Blümlein. Und das heißt Erika. Heiß von 100.000 kleinen Bienlein.
All right. I do enjoy John speaking German. It's fun, but I have no idea what that says. I'd rather not get my channel taken off of YouTube. Karl's Frosted Tips. I think this time's in English. All right, good.
Please send me money. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Super Chats, and Streamlabs. I may have slurped on a few Newport cigarettes, but I'm not gay. Also, congrats to George Floyd for being 4 years sober.
Oh, too soon.
I'm actually, that made me think. I'm surprised Aaron hasn't started a yearly GoFundMe where it's like you have to hit that goal for the year, you know?
Does he know he can do that?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, he should definitely do that. Yeah. Ape Shit Media.
I'm starting a new GoFundMe for any minorities affected by the wildfires of California. That art studio isn't going to build itself. What more do I have to do to win back my wife and kids?
Hey, wait, you're starting a GoFundMe for the wildfires, but then it's actually for the art studio? I'm confused by this.
Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. The kids are in the other room.
A Queef of the Night says all super chats tonight will be donated to the OJ Comedy Scholarship Fund. Help us raise funds for the unfunny podcasters from Ohio. There are several. I've noticed that. Rocco Orby, 2002, $5. Woke Dad should encourage Trudeau to donate to his art studio. After all, Trudeau's government did give taxpayer money to fund that woke Robin Hood show. That's some Canadian info I'm not privy to.
Interesting.
I Come Buckets, $2 says, in the OJ versus Blind Mike war, who's Karl loyal to?
Question.
That's right. I forgot that you guys are in a war right now. Holy shit.
Yes. Very
I don't
serious.
I don't do a regular show with OJ. I got to have my boy Blind Mike's back on this
I
one.
appreciate that. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
sorry,
be
I thought it
addressing
was-
that on.
I thought it was very funny. You're just like, thank you, OJ. You're so generous.
Yeah, well, he handled it really, really well, like an adult. So we'll be addressing that on Sunday.
Yes, I can't wait. Raver Butt says artificial Newports. And Red473 says SJ is also blatantly threatening violence on Cameo. He's amazing. Everywhere he goes, there he is.
I gotta say, I know it's probably Dabbleverse people, but let's pretend it's not. Let's live in a world where it isn't, where it's just an old Howard Stern fan.
Yeah.
The cameos I've seen make no sense to that person.
Yep.
Unless you're like another Ryan. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like, I was just at the gym because I'm going to beat the crap out of a couple of guys. You're just like, all right, man, I just wanted you to tell my buddy happy birthday.
He's like my enemies, and people paying for that would be like, AJ Benza? What is that? Who are we talking about?
He's pretty low on the list these days, but yes, he's on there. Yeah, no, you're right. If people just were scrolling on Cameo and saw Stuttering John, I'm just like, oh yeah, Stuttering John.
Oh, I love Stuttering John. Yeah, he was funny.
He's just doing his show. It's just he's casting, but it shows. Someone pointed this out on WATP yesterday. It shows that's looping through his head 24/7.
Yeah, he's detached from any reality that used to exist for him.
The only reality is the Dabbleverse and all of the people who have done him wrong. And continues on because apparently Chad got his gig canceled by telling the police the truth. I don't know.
Oh, baby fatso.
Right. All right. Opie, our boy Opie.
Yeah.
He's got a new channel. But before we get into that,
Opie Radio. The Opie Radio Podcast.
this was pointed out to me by our friend Missy B, that Opie's doing this thing. Now, this is from Instagram. You know what Dice likes to do when he's recording on the street?
I've made this comparison before. Yes.
Well, guess what? Opie is now ripping that off. Check this out.
I got the dice gloves on today.
Oh, he's literally doing it?
Yeah, check this out.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Were you the one looking for the picture?
No, I'm sorry.
You didn't want the picture with me?
Are you kidding?
Okay. All right. All right. 50,000 views. Go F yourself, Dice. That's all you do. It's easy. That's easy.
Opie doesn't get it. Opie does not get humor.
First of all, how many views did Dice get?
He said 50,000.
I mean, but did Opie get?
No, I don't. None. Virtually none.
So, shame on me. At first I thought, oh, Karl doesn't remember. I've compared what Opie's doing to. I didn't think he would literally put on the gloves and be like, hey, I'm the dice man.
Are you the one who wanted the... I can't do pictures today, all right? I don't have time to do pictures. I know you want to do a picture with me. I can't do it. And Opie fucking... Not only does he do that, rips that up, they're just like, fuck you, Dice. Your bit sucks. Like, his bit's way better than everything you've ever tried to do.
His bit is brilliant. It's hilarious.
Yes, it's phenomenal. And now Opie has started up an entire channel based on these types of interactions. Let's get over to YouTube.
Who are these YouTube videos? Who are these YouTube videos? Oh.
And by the way, we didn't even realize that, like, Anthony was the dice guy.
Yes.
And now Opie's like, I can show you how easy that is, too. He's not just showing Dice how easy Instagram is. He's showing Anthony how easy impressions are.
He's pissing off everybody.
Sticking it to everyone.
He's sticking it to everyone. So his new channel, I don't know why he started up a new channel. He used to do this shit on his regular channel, Opie Radio, but now he's got Opie Unleashed NYC.
I've always said I'd rather have 800 followers than 100,000. That's always been my goal.
Do you think that's the reason? Because it looks, the ratio's so off?
I think, if I can try and get inside the mind of the Opester.
Please.
I think what he's thinking is the algorithm has suppressed his channel in some way. Because it's not, something's not adding up. He has 100,000 subscribers and he gets, 183 views on a video. Something's wrong. It must be YouTube suppression.
Yeah.
So that channel has been so damaged that he needs to start a new one so these videos can flourish.
Well, that might be true because I think this video we're about to watch has over 3,000 views.
Whoa!
I think so. Hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Let's check this out.
All right, I got to get envelopes.
Okay, so he's walking into a store. Yeah, it has 3,100 views, and this channel only has 684 subscribers.
Do you think it could be because this is the one I heard Anthony talking about and Chrissy Mayer?
Yeah.
You think that's possible?
Oh, yeah.
And would you also say that 3,000 in the grand scheme of things isn't really that much for a guy who's been in radio for 25 years?
And it's out for 8 days. Yeah, no. This isn't an overnight sensation, but it is a lot more than he usually gets.
Yes.
On his videos.
You guys got envelopes? Are they next to the Kotex? Are they next to the feminine hygiene? I see feminine hygiene, not envelopes. It's not next to the hygiene, is it? I know, but you sent me where the the feminine hygiene stuff. It's very embarrassing for all of us. Is there envelopes around here? Oh, right here. I'm sorry, ma'am. Thank you. All right, guys. Opie, the ultimate troll. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Are you up first? Okay. She's had it with you already, and she's known you for 15 seconds. Well, that's pretty good. Haagen-Dazs. Little Haagen-Dazs. I just needed to pay for my envelopes and get out of here. I got nothing but 10s all day long. I went to the bank. Be an easy target with my bed back. I got $1,000 on me. 1,000 in 10s. Easy target. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Yeah. Sorry if I was a bother. I was a bother. There you go, man.
Oh, thank you.
Happy New Year, all right? Yep.
Well,
yep.
I'll tell you my assessment of this. Watching how people react to him. People recognize how thirsty he is. Like, this guy needs attention. He's trying to make this viral video. We've seen this before with Opie long before these type of
this guy's
things.
doing a thing, is what they're thinking.
Right. Everyone's like, oh, he's trying to make a thing happen right now. And everyone gives him nothing, which is what he deserves. Every single employee, the other customers in there are all just like, yeah, man, all right, here's your change. None of them are like, oh, you're being so quirky or reacting in any way that would be interesting. That's the thing. Opie wants reactions, and he gets no reactions. Even when he's down there, the John Lennon monument and everything like that, and he's just like, rats piss on that. They're like, okay, man, whatever.
I think what might be going over your head and a lot of other people is that a guy that looks like Opie typically wouldn't be in the feminine hygiene section. And that's what makes it such a humorous scenario.
But Opie looks homeless, so I'm not sure that that's true. He might.
Yeah, he just looks like a crazy. Like, if you ask the woman, hey, cashier, what just happened? Oh, a crazy guy was just in here. And
Right,
he left,
yeah.
And no harm, no foul.
Well, let me explain what the craziest part is. Not even that video. It's the fact that Opie is responding to every comment on the video.
Well, it's good for the algorithm.
He has a mental health problem. I hope he gets help. And he responds, knock it off, with a smiley face.
Okay, that's good. That's engagement. I like that.
Is it supposed to be funny, says Tony Stark? And Opie says, move on then, Tony, thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if Opie's handling it too well, but
And then the Slophouse says, he unleashed on those broads and all of their envelopes. And so Opie goes, he's got some smiling and laughing emojis for that one. I was like, yeah, this guy gets me.
oh yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, the channel is called Opie Unleashed NYC, and as the great Norm Macdonald said, "You've never been more leashed."
Someone writes, what a odd interaction. And Opie says, that's what I was going for.
You hit the nail on the head, friend.
Gabe wrote, epic. And he wrote, yup. I mean, I can't believe this is happening right now. Opie has the time to sit down and respond to every. Well, Giorgio, I think it's safe to say you found your niche. And he writes, thanks for checking out the channel.
Well, they say that's good for engagement. Maybe that's why the video got 3,000 views, I guess. But then I looked at some of his other videos, and it's like 73 views, 300 views.
Right.
Like, nothing crazy.
Oh, this is a funny one. This guy writes, finally, the Joe Rogan Killer Show. And Opie responds, I don't get it. I bet he doesn't. Opie, you claim that if you put some effort into it, you would be bigger than Joe Rogan. That's what he's talking about. We're going to take Joe Rogan down.
Oh, Opster. He's always trying. It's amazing. You do got to admire his persistence.
I haven't read these. Hold on, I got to read this to you.
Okay.
It says, with content like this, I can't believe Joe Rogan hasn't asked you to be a guest or even a full-time co-host. And listen to Opie's response. I was on Joe Rogan.
It was quite an appearance, too. I've broken it down.
How long ago was that? 6 years? 7 years?
Oh, no. It's while the Opie and Anthony show is still on, probably 12 years ago.
That's 12 years old. Yeah, I mean, it might be double digits as far as the Joe Rogan experience.
I think they were on
episodes.
Ustream still. I don't think they were on YouTube yet.
Someone writes,
Ryan Redband was producing. It was a different era.
Yeah. Someone writes, reminds me of Doug Bell. And he responds, no idea what that is. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, but Opie, by responding, don't you realize that you're proving you know who that is? You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't go, I don't know who that is.
Right. You would look it up or you wouldn't respond.
Right. You're acknowledging, I know that's a Jim Norton character, so I'm going to pretend I don't know who it is.
This is it's just wild. I'm just scrolling through it. Like, every single comment has an Opie reply to it.
Did you guys watch, I haven't gotten to watch WATP yet. Did you hear his response to James Norton and his new endeavor?
In fact, Pooterlific for $5 says, did I miss you both commenting on Opie reaction to Jim Norton off radio? Sam, last professional broadcaster, he spoke it into reality.
Yes. I'll be talking about it on my show this weekend, but he handled it like an adult. He really.
How did he handle it? Like, I didn't see it.
Really with a lot of grace.
Oh, boy.
He said that Sam's a terrible broadcaster.
Sure.
Who's always hated Jim. And then even if you say, like, hey, I'm not that much of a Sam fan, I agree with him. Sam sucks. He also said Jim Norton is terrible at radio and that his podcast will fail. And that his show, Solo, was always awful.
Jesus Christ, Opie. And Jim was on the radio for what, over 20 years? Had a full-time job on radio and national radio for most of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
That's all because of Opie, though.
Well, also, yeah, Opie gives himself credit for discovering Jim. He likes to do that, but then he also says that Jim's terrible.
Yeah. Well, Opie's comedy propped up Norton. So when you were watching all Jim's comedy specials, that was really Opie puppet mastering the whole thing.
He is unbelievable. And when you think about how gracious Jim always was for that opportunity. Like even Jim's stand-up specials, he'd be like, "Hey, everybody, sitting here in the front row. There's Opie and Anthony. I wouldn't be here without them." Like he went out of his way to acknowledge them all the time for his success.
It was crazy, and the amount of times Jim was doing a press tour for nothing related to Opie and Anthony, just his own shit, comedy dates or whatever he had going on, and he'd have to answer questions about Opie's cake stomp video, or Anthony getting fired, or homeless Charlie, whatever the controversy was with those two. Norton always there's not a more loyal guy that I could think of that they could have had there.
And they got into what, like 2 arguments when it was the Opie and Jim show, where I remember where Jim goes
2 or 3 big ones, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Jim going like, "You're a real weird guy," you know that.
That's You say odd shit to people.
You say some odd shit to people. You know that. That's one of my favorites. All right, let's get into some other stuff that Opie is up to, since he knows everything about entertainment, and he's walking. He's unleashed on New York City.
Look out, New York!
You're ruining the illusion. You got to put your heads up. There you go. She knows.
All right, so if you're listening to this, or if you're Blind Mike, what he's looking at are people who are dressed up as Disney characters, mostly Mickey and Minnie, and they have their heads up above so they can see what's going on. And Opie's scolding them for this.
This man is unleashed.
He's got a great line here. He keeps repeating it.
Illusion. You got to put your heads up. There you go. She knows. You're ruining the illusion. You're ruining the illusion.
Hey, Jeff. F-up. Make America great again. Ladies in the house.
You're ruining the illusion. She knows. You're ruining the illusion.
Say it again.
No
Say
money.
It 4 or
I'm just
5
saying
more
hi.
times.
No honey.
No money, no honey. Couple salads, Captain America. Couple salads.
That's free for you.
Ah! Head down, head down. You ruined the illusion. All right. Captain America, peace.
Peace.
Long Island.
Brooklyn in the house.
All right, there you go.
I've never wanted to see Captain America punch through someone more than watching that video. I just want to see him unleash. Like, these guys tend to be
he's
unstable.
He's being unleashed right now.
Yes,
Do you
right.
understand?
So, in Opie's mind, head down, you're ruining the illusion, is an amazing line. And I'm wondering, did Opie write that? Does he have a staff of people? Did he get to write these things? When I was listening to the Nikki Glaser interview on Howard Stern, she's talking about how she has a team of writers, and they sit around these writing rooms and they decide what's the best punchline, what's the best word to use. Does Opie have a similar thing?
I might be naive, but I think these lines just come to him.
Oh, because I was assuming he has a team of people, and they're going, "You're ruining your gimmick. I'm not buying the character. What if you're ruining the illusion? Oh, that's ruining the illusion. That's good.
That's good stuff. It makes you think. It'll make them think, and these people in Times Square will think, "Oh my God, I've ruined it for all these children. I've never thought of it that way."
He sucks so bad. It's crazy because, Mike, it's okay that Opie sucks. Greg Hughes is an unfunny man, so a lot of people like him. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Now, that should have been a T-shirt Opie was selling all those years.
Greg Hughes is an unfunny man, which is fine. I'm not offended by that. Why does he think he needs to be an entertainer when he's not an entertainer and he's not entertaining?
It's interesting that he's never found a thing. Here you'll hear me give Steel Toe credit here. At least Steel Toe masquerades as a political show. You know what I mean? Like,
sure,
he has decided I am the right-wing political guy. He strays from that for mostly to talk about the goal, but like he veers off that course once in a while. But he at least has some kind of identity, whether it's real, fake, forced, whatever. He has it. Opie's never even thought like, oh, I should try and be this guy. This is like an interest I have. Let me pretend I'm an expert in it. He doesn't have anything close to that.
The closest he's gotten to that was Carl Ruiz, but he never really figured out where he fit in with Carl Ruiz. He just was like hung with that guy or whatever. And I would say the other way he's gotten close to that is with Doggy. When he became the owner of Doggy, we all went, all right, this is Opie, owner of Doggy. The Opie and Doggy show.
He could be like Dave Portnoy and Miss Peaches.
Right.
Doggy could be the next Instagram sensation.
No, you're right. He cannot figure out what his identity is. And it's because of what we're going to see Anthony say on X right here.
Yes.
This was an interesting back and forth that Mike sent me today. So the original tweet is Anthony was right about you by Bob Sacamano official.
He's good.
And Opie says that holds zero weight considering who he has become.
Say what you want about Anthony. He's always been this guy. I think his Twitter's a little fucking crazy at times.
It's gotten
But,
exaggerated.
He has always been that.
Oh,
guy.
go back to when Obama was elected and listen to those
Right.
Opie and Anthony episodes.
I think Opie has to pretend Anthony has become this because he can't say, well, I just sat next to the guy for 20 years, never confronted him once about politics. In fact,
Right.
often agreed with him.
Right. Yes.
So that's why I have to kind of act like he has changed. He's suddenly become, racially fueled.
So Anthony writes, become? What have I become? I notice what's going on in this country and talk about it honestly while other people make excuses. Point out one thing I've said about the racial problems in this country that aren't based on facts and statistics.
Well, I don't know.
I could do that, but the problem isn't so much what I'm saying, but far more that I'm saying it at all. I'm not a coward who rides the fence with no real passion or opinion on serious issues while hopelessly hoping K-Rock needs an aging DJ and calls me for a gig because I've been non-controversial and don't curse on my barely watched podcast. Go record yourself mailing a letter. Great stuff. So the last paragraph is what I was referring to a minute ago.
Right.
And Anthony is spot on about this. Opie is passionless. And that's why he's not a compelling broadcaster. Like, there's no topic you can bring up. I remember when he was into the Islanders, and he was a hockey guy, and then he was into basketball, and he was a basketball guy, and like football, he's like, I like the Jets and the Bills, but I don't really watch the games. Like, he's never in it enough to care enough to even have a conversation about it.
Yeah, I personally have no interest in listening to Anthony talk politics. It's why I listen to him. I don't listen to him at all, and I was going to say less than I used to, but I don't really listen to him at all other than like clips that I see. But Anthony has that passion. So
Yes.
I'm not going to say, hey, don't talk about that. I'm going to say I'm not necessarily going to listen because it's not for me. But Anthony is interested in that, and that's what consumes his mind, so that's what he talks about. Opie has never had that about anything. Like, even on the Opie and Anthony show, like, he'd try and be the music guy, but
Right.
he wasn't particularly well versed in music. Like, you see with the beer show, suddenly he's going to be the beer guy, but he's not really a drinker. Like, he dips his toe into these worlds and masquerades as an expert.
And his main hobby is fishing. It's the most boring thing possible. He just wants to sit and stare. It's like Howard Stern used to talk about. I just want to sit and stare at the wall. It's like,
Even that. Listen, you and I watched a fucking paintball show.
We did.
I'm
yes.
sure a fishing show exists.
Of course.
I don't think Opie would be capable of talking about that for an hour because I don't think it's a real passion of his.
Yeah, he doesn't get involved enough to know anything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a lot of people have been talking about this. I wanted to bring this up on this show because there was this podcast, and this guy, Mike D, runs this podcast, and he has Tulo on his show. Tulo is a rapper. And about 55 minutes into the show, Tulo's adjusting his pants. He's putting his hand in his pocket, and this happens.
It's between trying to be something that you're not and choices we got in life. Those were your choices.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Who shot who?
Who shot who?
Somebody got shot.
He's like, so the host, Mike D, one-on-one with Mike D, it's called, is like, all right, who shot who just now? What just happened? And this guy literally did a Plaxico Burress where the gun went off in his pocket. You could see the bullet go through the jeans.
That's when you know a guy you probably don't want to fuck with, too, when he hears a gunshot and he's like, what's going on over there? Just very calmly.
I totally agree. I'd be like, whoa, what the? He's just like, he's like, all right, what's the damage? What's going on? It's pretty impressive. And also, the way he gets right back into it, too. Let me play this a little bit further.
I hope. Y'all good?
Damn, Brody. Good?
I got to say Tulo looks very concerned about this. Some people thought that this was like a gimmick or something that they did because it is getting a lot of attention. I don't think so. I don't think Tulo would be responding the way that he is. He's just like, Oh, fuck. What did I just do? He's trying to figure out if he shot himself or not. He can't tell.
Only on the dirty third, one-on-one with Mike D. I thought my nigga shot me.
Mike D's just like right back in. I was like, all right, let's go.
Oh, we have some wacky times here on 101.3.
Yes.
And we'll be back with more after the break.
Very impressive, I have to say. That's professionalism.
That's a broadcaster.
Right there. I agree. Take that, Sam Roberts. All right, let's get caught up.
Yay, super chats.
Don't know much about Aaron's books. Need to audit super chats he took.
All I know is that I love you. And remember to super chat me too. What a wonderful world it could be.
I like it. I like that Becky Monster is singing songs now.
It's weird that that's me, technically.
Technically, yeah.
It's my voice they used, I guess.
Are you going to enter in with Joey C on this class action lawsuit?
I'm going to enter in twice. Once for me and once for the
Well, right. Yeah, good point. I forgot. You're two of these people.
Well, you got me fired from my volunteer job. I'm going to sue you, Blind Mike.
Me?
OJ, Tookie, Chat, and Fatty Patty. Blind Mike, you will never see me coming. Happy B-Day, George Floyd.
My hands are clean on this one.
Is it George Floyd's birthday? I didn't realize.
Oh, happy birthday, George.
It's a
How's he
holiday.
doing?
Not well. You didn't hear? Cool Cut Gassick, $2. GG33 had a debate with Andrew Wilson and lost bigly.
Oh.
We have some GG33 coming up. I don't know
I
if
didn't
we
see
addressed
that.
that.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, send that our way. Pooterlific, $2. I want to hear Blind Mike call Norton's new advice show. Oh, you should do that.
Okay, I'll think of some advice I need, and I'll do. I did listen to the first episode, and it was very good.
All right. Cool Cut Casting. OJ more like O-gay. Blind Mike rules. All right, we see whose side people are on over here.
I'll hold back comment till Sunday at 10 a.m.
Nice.
The nation will finally hear me address this.
Chad's handicapped fan. VTM called you and Vinny out for the ESO segment. Yes, he did. I saw that.
The ESO segment.
So Vinny, for the creep of the year 2024, brought ESO Doe in versus my woke dad.
Okay.
I did narrowly win, which is saying
You
something.
did?
Yes.
That's wild.
Woke dad beat out ESO Doe as the biggest creep of 2024.
People have quite a line you hold.
But yeah, Vince is floundering right now. I was text messaging him because he was trying to like get me on whatever I said. I'm like, it's the creep off. We say ridiculous shit. It's kind of the format of the show. Yeah, it's a comedy show where we like blame victims and stuff. But he was like splicing it up and making edits of it. And he was like putting in this text thread that I'm in, all this shit about it. And I go, this is like when Howard's guest doesn't show up, he has to make fun of Gary about his vinyl collection or going to a concert. Like you're just grasping right now. This is not a real thing you're doing. It's not working.
You don't think about, we're all devastated about John leaving, but you don't think about who it really affects.
Yes. Yeah. There's a very bored lawyer, a very short and bored lawyer in New York right now. Doesn't know what to do with himself. Rocco Orby 2002, hashtag Team Blind Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate
More support coming in.
I need that in times like this.
Red 473 $2 says, Carl, any plans for a WATP East Coast show? Yes.
East Coast.
I know.
I think I know what they're referencing.
Oh, I just thought because we're promoting our Las Vegas show.
Well, there's a big scandal that Big Cat, Dan Katz of Barstool Sports, has been hiding. He's a big Chicago guy. He's like a Cubs fan, Bears fan, all that shit. But he's actually from Newton, Massachusetts. And there's an interview where someone asked him where he's from, and he's like, I'm originally from the East Coast. Like, he was embarrassed about it. And Kirk was talking about it today. He's like, who says it like that? The East Coast.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
really
pretty big
narrow
range.
it down.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Maybe that's what that's a reference to.
I think so.
Madam Priest $5 says, hey, Blind Mike, you had a cameo on Whitlock's show today when he showed host reaction to his Joy Taylor peanut butter cans comment. He didn't know CM.
Really? He talked about Kirk, I assume?
I don't know.
That's funny. If you have that clip, sir, send it my way.
Yeah, very cool. People are watching Jason Whitlock show out there.
He's responding very strange to that whole controversy. Talking about her big breasts and how they tempt him.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually very funny. I enjoyed that. All right, let's head over to TikTok.
TikTok's a psyop by the Chinese to fuck up the minds of our youth and some other people too. So let's talk quite a lot about these TikTokers we stalk and know. Oh, TikTok fucking blows.
He's getting a lot of press on the show today, but we have to bring up the fact that Stuttering John Melendez is on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's the right move, if I'm being honest.
Of course it's the right move. He started up a TikTok, and he's only posted 3. Well, he had a 4th one that's gone now, but he only has 3 TikToks on there right now. Hopefully he gets back on there. I don't know what else he's doing this time, but let's see what he's talking about.
Hey, what's up? It's Stuttering John. As you see, I'm wearing my FDNY. That's my fireman shirt.
Okay. He had to look down to see what shirt it was. And it's been pointed out to me, this is the shirt you get when you go into the gift shop.
Is he 6 years old? This is my fireman shirt.
Yes. The answer
I'm a
is yes.
fireman.
He is 6 years old.
Given to me by some of New York's bravest. But let me tell you something else about New York. One fucking...
Multiple firefighters gave him that shirt. They're like, hey, John, Bill, and Steve, and Bruce, and I, we all decided to chip in and get you. Don't even mention it. Here, just a little something for you.
You've listened to a lot more Stern than I have, particularly in John's era.
Yeah.
Would you, as a Stern fan, if you erase the last 6 years,
sure.
If you're just scrolling through TikTok, is the first thought you're having, why does John talk like that now? Hey, you motherfuckers, I'm here in my FDNY shirt. It's Guinea John.
Yeah, he's trying out new characters and stuff. Yeah. Remember John from The Tonight Show? Hey, Jay. He's
Hello,
like,
Jay.
oh,
Yeah.
hey, Jay, all right. It's very different.
But there is,
So
here's
Sorry.
why I think TikTok is like the right format for John. On YouTube, you'd have to seek out John's show, and even if it came up in your algorithm, you'd be like, what is that? Just a guy ranting about the shit wear? What is this? But on TikTok, people like this pop up in my feed all the time.
I agree.
It's constantly just crazy people ranting about nothing. And in short form, you could be like, well, this guy's interesting. Who's this lunatic?
I totally
think
agree
it's
with
got
you.
legs.
Yeah, it's discoverable.
Yeah, yes.
This is where he needs to be. He needs to put out a lot more content and do this a few times a day. Look at this nose hair that's coming out of his fucking nose right here. Jesus Christ, John.
Looks good.
Ugh. Even Mike could see that. So big. Bad.
Something else about New York. Juan fucking Soto. Fuck you, you greedy fuck.
Topical and ballsy.
I know.
Oh.
No other Yankee fan put out that. Oh, there was an edit there too. Oh. All right, pick it up on O. All right, yeah, I got it. And take 2 and go.
You're actually wrong. Other Yankee fans have mentioned Juan Soto, but no one, and I mean no one, has waited a month and a half to give their take on it.
Yeah, right. Good point. I love this idea that they're greedy. Every Yankees player comes to the Yankees, not every Yankees player, but all their free agent signups. They sign them because they're greedy and they want the most money possible. Also, it's the sports agent.
Also, greedy isn't the right word.
No,
actually, it's the complete wrong word. Because if one team is offering $765 million and the other team's offering $750 million, it might actually come down to factors other than money.
Definitely, yes.
Oh, I need more money. Another $5 million. Oh yeah, and I need a private suite. Oh yeah, and then I gotta get my mother new clothes every fucking year. Fuck off.
Ugh, something can fly out of his mouth. This is again John being a child. Did Juan Soto? I don't follow this. Did he say he needed more money for clothes for his mom every year?
I'm guessing because I know the private suite thing was a thing.
Yeah.
Scott Boras is Juan Soto's agent, and he asks for everything.
Sure.
And we'll just take the highest offer typically. So, I'm sure there are things Scott Boras threw in there just to see if he could get them. Okay. I don't know that Juan Soto has come out and been like, by God, those fucking Yankees, they didn't give clothes to my mommy.
It seems odd to me that when you're negotiating a $750 million contract, that wardrobes would come into play. But that you could cover that with the $750 million we're paying you,
Right,
plus endorsement deals. And so it just seems like John's a child who thinks about, oh, if I have money, then I got to help out my mommy and get her new clothes. You know what I mean? He's such a child. His mentality is like that.
But again, on TikTok, this is good because the amount of
Yes.
retards I see just
Yes.
yelling about, they don't have to make any sense. They just go, fuck the Mets. The Mets fucking suck. And then it has 40,000 views for some reason.
I agree. John, keep this up. Keep going.
Yeah.
You got this.
What a piece of shit you are. Then you change your number. You block everybody out. You're a greedy fuck. And you went to one of the worst franchises ever. The fucking Mets. You loser, dickhead.
I agree.
Go back to the DR, you fucking prick.
Then he's basically deporting him. I like that part of it right there.
Get out of our country,
Yeah, he
freak.
turns into Trump at the end there. If you don't want to play for the Yankees, then get the fuck out. He's such a child, too, where it's just like, and you're going to the Mets. That's the team I don't like the most. You're like, yeah, baseball players don't give a fuck. People who made it to the show, they're not like fans of a team.
No, he was on the Yankees for one. It's not Derek Jeter. He was on the Yankees for a year.
Yeah, see, they picked him up for 1 year to try to do something. I don't know. That's John for you, though. John, keep it up, buddy.
But yeah, I hope he keeps doing it because that is the format for him. If just drop the references to the dues payer and Ryan Sharman because it doesn't make sense to anyone.
Right. Yeah. Start anew. This is your new life as a lolcow for a whole new audience.
It's what you've always wanted, John.
Yes.
A totally fresh start.
You could totally do it. All right. If he wants advice, he should probably go to GG33, the numerologist who has it all figured out.
Yes.
You basically get enlightened. You get to know information that's not out there in public, telling them about their characteristics, what they're going through in life, who their soulmates are, when they should get married, or maybe they shouldn't. And I can't do 50 readings a day, so I have to actually train people to do readings for me.
1 hour reading comes with a full breakdown of your numerology astrology, a 5-year blueprint of your energy, and a full
Glad he got a
Q&A
good voiceover
for any
guy for this
questions
very
you
important video.
He got it off of Fiverr for some reason. It's like you're promoting a thing that costs $233. You might.
Do you want to learn numbers?
Readings a day, so I have to actually train people to do readings for me.
1 hour reading comes with a full breakdown of your numerology astrology, a 5-year blueprint of your energy, and a
What do you think he said after full breakdown?
Full breakdown of energy.
Yeah, it's numerology and astrology, but listen to how many syllables. I mean, I don't think he's saying this at all out here.
breakdown of your numerology astrology, a
Numerologistology.
Yeah, right. I combined the two words.
of your numerology astrology,
numerologistology.
It's good a guy that's so rich, by the way, because Gigi always tells us how rich he is.
Yeah.
He found a professional voice guy. This is perfect.
Readings for me.
1 hour reading comes with a full breakdown of your numerology astrology, a 5-year blueprint of your energy, and a full Q&A for any questions you might have. Whether it's career, family, relationships, we got you covered. Also comes with a free trial membership to GG33 Masterclass.
If you get
I don't know
a
if you can
numerology,
find a guy that speaks worse English to do voiceover work.
Well, do you think that maybe he does voiceover work for his native tongue? And they're just like, yeah, but your price is so good. Can he just do it in English, though?
No. I think he's an 8, and that's the number of voices or something.
G33 Masterclass.
if you get a numerology reading, you can get a trial membership to the Academy, correct?
So sign up now with the link down below or go to gg33logic.com.
Okay, so he has an academy now.
Yes.
He is now selling this thing where now you can become a numerologist and teach other people. And the price of this, $233. Do you know why that is, Mike? Let me quiz you on your understanding of numerology.
33 is the number of something good. I know it's the number of Jesus, which we'll get into, but it's the number of something good. And I'm going to guess 200 is just that he wanted to charge $200 more than $33.
All right, good guess. But when I saw this price, I was a little surprised because I went, wait a second, 8 is the number of money and wealth. And he always says, if you want to sell more products, put a sale on the 8th or put a sale on the whatever. You know, he throws all the dates out there. Or end the price of the product in 8. So I went, wait a second, why is he taking his own advice? but 233 adds up to 8.
You fool! I was way ahead of you because I'm a
Yes.
numerology guy.
Well, right. I knew I would get that past
Obviously, you add them together, and then that's the number you use for some reason.
But it didn't work. That I'm not buying it. Even with the price 233, I'm not buying this.
Damn it!
I know, right?
I thought it was a sure thing.
So apparently, I didn't
What
work
a
that
horrible waste of money! That could you imagine being like, I need to learn Gigi's magic. I need to capture it.
Well, it's right up there with like selling Cutco knives or something. This just seems like, hey, I got all this bullshit. Do you want to sell it? Like, yeah, sure, I'll sell your bullshit. Great, I'll give.
And what's he gonna say on that isn't on every podcast he's ever been on?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
what's
but you don't
the
get
new thing gonna be?
You don't get the Q&A though, Mike. If you want to ask him about relationships or, you know, I know you're in the market for a house. You probably want to ask him some questions.
Gigi, you single? That's worth $250.
All right, this is another GG33. You just like the reaction to this.
I like that he always finds a guy
Yes.
that's mystified by him.
It's always blown away by what he's being told.
33 is the number of influence. That's why Jesus Christ died when he was 33 years old. And they made sure to associate that number within because he's the most influential dead man in the world.
Wow. That's insane.
Wow.
He didn't say anything.
Wow.
He's just like, hey, Jesus died when he was 33. And the guy's like, oh my God. I never thought of it that way.
Well, here's what my response would be. It's why he's never done WATS. I'd be like, oh, that's a theory.
I would say, doesn't that make him a 6, not a 33?
No, so you're forgetting. 11s are 2s, but 22s are 22s and 33s are 33s.
Right, but then why, when the price is 233, do you add them together?
Oh, don't ask so many questions. You're asking now you're asking too many questions for this Q&A.
Lesson's over.
Our time is up. Yeah, actually. That's too much. I have a new person, a new TikToker to introduce us to.
Okay.
This one came in from the Hebrew Hammer on our Discord.
Nice.
If you want to participate in the show, another great way to do that is to go to our Discord. You can find it at whoarethese.com. I'll link to it. It's free to join. And we have a channel in there for Who Are These Socials. People like to go in there, talk about the show, and also paste links to things that they find interesting. And Hebrew Hammer found this Reborn Cosplay Mom of Many channel.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Reborns?
Like born-again Christians? Or?
Well, no. We talked about this recently on WATP because there was a podcast about this where they make these very, very realistic looking babies. And these people care for them like they're real babies.
What?
But they're dolls. They're just
oh no,
inanimate dolls. And so check this out. This is I gotta grab the link first. Yeah.
this is very exciting.
This is very sad actually.
Day in the life of taking care of my 9 reborns, part 1. So first, they're all out of bed and in their high chairs, and I'm making them breakfast. The 3 girls, Emily, Jen, and...
Sorry, I already have like 3 questions.
Sure, please. Go on.
Why are they reborns?
Okay, so I think the reason for this is, and someone will correct me if I'm wrong, this is a coping mechanism for people who lose their babies. Like if a mom loses a baby, they can actually get this doll made to look just like the baby who died.
Okay. And
I think that's why.
Do people recommend this as a healthy option?
No, nobody does.
Good.
Definitely not.
And when she says making breakfast,
yeah,
I'm assuming they're not eating the breakfast.
They can't eat breakfast. They're dolls. But she is putting down toast and Greek yogurt down in front of one of these.
Is it real? Does she make real toast every day?
Yeah, it's real toast. And they're really sitting in high chairs. Like she has 9 of them set up around this kitchen area.
But doesn't this sort of take away the illusion because the toast and yogurt will just sit there, no?
I would think so, but not for the TikTok video. She's not gonna time lapse it to show how embarrassing it is.
Okay, her mania only lasts the duration of the video, and then she throws the toast away.
I just want to say, Mike, these are all excellent questions, and I appreciate you asking these questions. Let's watch to see what else happens, and then we'll have some follow-up discussion.
Okay, all right, fair.
and in their high chairs, and I'm making the breakfast. The three girls, Emily, Jen, and Ashley, are having toast and yogurt, while everyone else is having oatmeal. And I give the two youngest, Adam and Michael, their bottles, and now it's time to dress them, starting with Emily, Jen, and look, we're matching.
She's got a real handful.
Yeah.
Then it's time to finish our Disney marathon, and we are up to The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, they're gonna watch Patrick Melton. So she's got all of these little kids like up on the couch and on the floor, and they're all watching the TV so she can watch her fucking Disney things. And this doesn't make it better that an adult is watching Disney movies, by the way. This makes it much, much worse.
I take issue with that.
Yeah.
I know some Disney adults, and if they at least faked having a kid, if they fed their toys while they went to Disney, I'd say
that'd be better.
All right, fine. Now I'm willing to deal with it.
That's insane.
To The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Disney Plus. And I have all the younger babies in here just to keep an eye on them while the three girls watch. Everyone else is welcome to watch it too.
Okay. Now, she's buying real clothing for all of these babies. The amount of money that must go into this.
Well, there's a side of me off the air where my heart would break for this human being.
Yes.
My issue is with the people that aren't taking the fucking phone out of this maniac's hand. Like, clearly this is someone not well.
Well, okay, let me read you the comments underneath this. The first one is, whatever you have been through, I'm sorry. That comment is 1,653 likes on it.
Add one more.
And then Kelsey responds to that and says, shut the fuck up. Some people have hobbies. Doesn't mean she's broken. You, on the other hand, I don't know about.
Hobbies? I pretend I'm a mother to these dolls, and I feed them toast, and I watch Disney movies with them. That's my hobby.
William Bick says, do they have the same dad? And if so, is dad in their life?
He's hitting on her.
That's hilarious. And if he's not in their life, does he pay child support? Great follow-up question.
Excellent question, yeah.
And if he doesn't pay child support, do you have a lawyer? People are having a lot of fun with this.
I'm glad to see that, because on like Daniel Alexander's videos, it's always like, true that, Daniel. You the man.
He's deleting comments. He has to be.
I'm just saying, I'm glad people exist that are sane on this app.
We got one more video that gets a little bit sadder here.
So while I'm making breakfast for everyone, Emily here came across one of my scrapbooks, and here she is looking at what we did over the holidays for the first time. That's when you cosplayed Elizabeth from Five Nights at Freddy's, remember, Emily? You could still do it with that hair.
Oh my gosh, she was actually...
It's so sad.
Yeah, the doll was looking at this scrapbook, and then she zoomed in. There were actually photos of her with that doll that were taken in the past that are in this scrapbook. Now she's making the doll look at the pictures of her.
Look how much you've grown.
Oh my God.
Emily, you haven't aged a day.
That is a mental disorder, so...
I want the video where Emily's head is detached from her body, and this woman's like, Emily passed away today. She has a funeral for Emily, and
Emily was playing with matches, and unfortunately, the clothing I put her in that day went right up.
And you can donate to the GoFundMe for Emily's services.
All right, Mike. We have to get into Woke Dad. There's a lot to cover with what's going on with our boy, Daniel Alexander. Before we get into it, Record Lover in our Discord, who also runs the Woke.Dad TikTok account. Follow that. If you're not already, you should.
Yes.
Put together a song for Woke Dad. Now, this is normally where I'd play a stinger, but we don't need a stinger today because we have this.
Daniel's got a master's in making up grand tales. Got a studio for kids that's really just for sale. Claims he's woke, but he's up to the same old tricks, taken from the kind-hearted just to get his kicks. Says he's saving the world $1 at a time, but his stories are stale and his morals are grime. Flashing fake smiles like he owns the whole parade, always ready for applause from his self-made charade. Hey there, woke dad, your curtain's about to fall. We're tired of the lies, time to give it your all. Honest conversations and nowhere to be seen. Your empire of fiction's just a broken dream. Swearing by the causes to make his heart beat.
So that's a whole song. You can check it out in our Discord. It has been posted in there.
I think Daniel would like that.
I think he would too, until he listened to the lyrics and went, wait a second. What's going on now? You guys have discovered that this is all a scam?
My
I don't like
ruse?
that. So this first video, I was shocked by this. And I wrote in the description of our show today, this is the most awful thing a person can do.
It was tough.
When I think about, I mean, you can't just call this a mistake. This is
a crime.
Criminal. Yeah, this is
Yes.
criminal behavior.
Yeah,
it's the only way that I could describe this. I can't believe Dan did this. I just thought he was better than this.
Yeah.
Just a little while ago, I misgendered one of my son's trans friends, and
Oh, fuck, Dan. What?
That hurts to hear.
You misgendered one of your son's trans friends?
Well, he's fessing up to it at least.
I know, but I don't know if I can forgive him. I'm not ready yet.
No. Let's hear what this bastard has to say for himself.
The way this is shot is so bizarre. He's resting his phone somewhere, so it's pointing up at him, and he has firewood that he's ready to chop, but he's just kind of like crouched over and holding the firewood up in front of the camera.
I don't care about gender, but you guys just happen to catch me doing man stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, doesn't he usually have like a very nonchalant, like, "Oh, I didn't see you there" kind of approach to his TikTok videos?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, right. Hi, guys. I just talked to this couple. If we're going to vote for Trump. And then, but this one all of a sudden is just like he got the lighting right. They're like the lights are coming in on him. It's nighttime.
Well, that's what you do for a major remember Tiger Woods' press conference? And
good point.
Any major scandal, you have to do.
You're right. It's got to fess up before it. He wants to control the narrative here.
Yeah.
Before it gets out there.
I misgendered him because I didn't know. I should have known, but I didn't know. I mean, this friend of my son is someone who I've known since they were a baby, and I haven't really been close to him or his family for quite a few years, maybe a decade even. But I grew up with his dad. I worked at his family's restaurant when I was 12 years old, so his family's been a part of my life for the last 30 years, and it was kind of exciting.
Yes, Mike.
I like the idea if you had a friend named like Sam or something, and someone asked, guy or girl, and you're like, I don't know, we're really not that close.
I haven't seen him in a few years. I'm not sure.
Listen, we aren't close like that.
When I found out that him and my son were starting to have a relationship, we're starting to become friends because I was so close to his family growing up. I misgendered him because I didn't know, and the second that my son said something, I corrected myself, I apologized, and I moved on because that's what you should do.
What?
It doesn't need to be any bigger a deal than that.
You thoughtless
apologize,
bastard.
You correct yourself, and you move on. And if you're making it into a bigger deal than that, that's a you problem.
Well, what if the trans person makes it into a bigger deal than that? I see videos of that all the time.
What has this all been for, Daniel?
Yeah, right. He's just like, and by the way, I screwed up too. So what are you going to do, you know?
Guys, today I screwed up, and I realized none of it really matters. Like, who even gives a shit about these freaks, you know?
Not a young trans kid's problem or anybody in the trans community's problem. When you make a mistake, you apologize, and you move on. That's it. Don't make it weird.
I like that he says, don't make it weird. Meanwhile, there's a 12-year-old girl who wants to be called he. Oh, I'm the one making it weird. Okay. My bad.
Making it uncomfortable.
I didn't realize. Okay, if you say so.
But Daniel's the one that goes into stores and he's like, this person misgendered the lady in front of me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you could tell he was doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like,
he wants to fight a battle over it.
But what if this kid's perspective was that you were doing it on purpose? Should he or she make a TikTok video being like, today I was assaulted in my friend's home?
By an ally. Today I was assaulted by an ally.
Quote.
Yeah, you wolf in sheep's clothing. You wouldn't even have known. It's crazy.
That would be my dream for these woke dad segments is that one day a trans person takes issue with Daniel Alexander and they get into a rivalry, a feud.
Oh, that'd be amazing. They have competing TikTok accounts.
If Jules LeBron
yes.
hated Daniel Alexander.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love that. All right. Let's talk about luck in this next video.
All right.
This is not the right video right here.
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't grab your updated link. All right,
Oh,
let's skip to the next one. This is funny because you wrote, "This takes a twist."
Yeah, you don't really.
Yeah,
like any good storyteller, sometimes you don't always see where it's going. Daniel keeps us on the edge of our seat here, but so stay with us.
Right before I closed up for the day, I had a customer come up and she asked for a quad shot of espresso. And it's not something I sell a ton of, but it's not an uncalled for order. People definitely order it. So I made it without question. I handed it to her and I started to ring her up and she took a big swig of it. And immediately I was like, whoa, this woman means business with her espresso. But right after she took that big swig, she goes, "Why would you serve this to anyone? This is so strong." And I mean, I know it wasn't a problem with my coffee. I serve a ton of espresso. I even tested it after. It's perfectly fine. Espresso is just strong. And I feel like she got into something she wasn't expecting. Like she maybe heard somebody else order that in the past and she thought it'd be a strong coffee and she asked for it without being educated upon what that would actually mean. And I feel like this is a wonderful analogy into our next 4 years with another Trump presidency. There are...
Mike, I have to tell you, this is the God honest truth. I knew that where he was going with this.
So
I saw this coming.
When he says the quad shot of espresso,
yeah,
I thought the closest we'd get to Trump was, and this lady says, "Hey, you must be one of these libs trying to serve me strong coffee."
Right? Yeah.
I didn't see it being an analogy.
No,
for the next 4 years.
I knew it when he was talking about she didn't know. She thought it was something that it wasn't. She saw other people doing it. She was influenced by this thing.
I may have known where we were going.
Yeah, it sounds like,
I was ready for this story of like, and then she saw my button and said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were an ally." Or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit!" He just hits me with Trump out of nowhere.
So many people who voted for Trump who just weren't educated, who did.
I like that he's giving people a pass. This is a smart move right here.
Yeah.
He's going, look, you voted for Trump because you're stupid and you didn't understand what you were doing, but it's okay. A lot of people are stupid and make bad decisions. Yeah. And once you realize that and you confess that you made the wrong move, then we'll move on together.
It's very big of you to think half the country has a fucking learning disability.
People who voted for Trump who just weren't educated, who didn't know, who didn't understand what they were ordering. And as the next 4 years go on, some of them are going to try and make excuses about the situations that arise from it. But the reality is they all got what they ordered.
Wow.
They got what they ordered. And it doesn't matter at this point because it's already done.
Now, what I'm looking forward to, because I know that Dan's a fair guy, I'm looking forward to in a couple of years, he's going to put out a TikTok video where he talks about how, it turns out tariffs were a good idea. I didn't realize he was going to bring all this manufacturing home and the economy would be booming. And, I didn't realize it was going to be so great. Our income tax is down. It's amazing what this has done.
Yeah. It turns out we're not in World War III.
That's right.
I would really genuinely enjoy Daniel's channel a lot more if everything was from the perspective of a barista. Like every analogy was like, this Elon Musk, he doesn't grind his own beans.
Yes.
What he needs to start doing.
Yeah, if you need 3 big helpings of creamer, you don't enjoy the flavor of coffee. So why are you drinking coffee in the first place? That's a good point. I like that.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get to an old gem here. I believe this is from woke.dad.
Yes, yeah, he's been finding some good. I will say some of these videos he's been sending me are from 2023, and I don't remember them. When did we start covering Daniel?
Well, definitely 2023, but he wasn't in every week segment.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we
remember,
might have missed a lot
like
of
he
this.
would be like every third or fourth episode.
That's true.
And then he caught fire.
We got
So
obsessed.
yeah, we missed a lot. So yeah,
That's
it was
true. Yeah, so we
good
probably missed
reason
a
to
lot
go back and see what he's been up to. And I saw in the Discord people are goofing on us because we're like, "Hey, look at Woke Dad made up a story," and then play the clip. It's like, "Oh, that didn't happen." But look at Woke Dad made up a story.
I like to think we have more fun with it than that.
This one is the feel-good moment of the year for me. I just came out of this grocery store over here, and I walked in about the same time as this young kid did, and they were carrying an instrument case, and I thought for sure they just got out of band or something. We're not too far from the school. And as they opened up this instrument case, it was empty, and that kid just started shoveling food into that case.
Now, he never explains what instrument. Is it a tuba? Like, how much food are we talking about here?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it does, though. I mean, the clarinet's very different.
What is this voice that we're using? Where all of a sudden he's like, I saw a kid shoveling food. Like, where's that guy now? He's gone.
It's a somber moment here,
It's a
right
different
here.
voice.
Yes.
And instead of going to the store and saying, "Hey, somebody's stealing," I walked up to them and I said, "Could I buy you whatever you need?"
Is the hero we don't deserve, but we all
give
get.
you a hug, brother.
What a fucking instead of going to them and say, "Hey, someone's stealing."
What more do you need, criminal?
Because I grew up a poor kid, and I know what it's like to not have enough food and to be hungry.
Hey, jackass, I can afford a saxophone. I'm not a poor kid.
Yeah, right. I doubt they're that poor. Also, this whole thing, remember he had a whole bottle of Coke to himself? He couldn't have been that poor growing up.
That's true.
Remember that
He can
story?
afford to just smash it on the ground.
Yeah.
And I firmly, firmly believe that human rights should be also including the right to have a full stomach and the right to a roof over your head.
I don't think
care
the
what
right
your opinion.
to have a full stomach is a right.
It's definitely not. That's retarded. It doesn't make any sense.
Everyone eat your veggies. That's your right.
People come first.
Oh, God, he's so proud of himself. This is the smug, arrogant, narcissistic asshole Dan that we love so much, where he's just like, "Guys, today I did an amazing, heroic thing, and do I need accolades? No. If you want to give them, I will graciously accept them in the comments section."
But I, as all good people do, will cap it with a catchphrase.
Yeah, it's a little bit too succinct. Like, if this actually happened, it'd be more like it's a rehearsed. Like, this just happened, and you're that good at telling the story.
Have you ever, to these people that say we say the same shit every week, I'm always finding nuances. Have we ever mentioned this? Imagine the discarded videos that Daniel doesn't put. Like, I've never really thought about how many takes these must use.
That's a good question.
You know?
Well, he said it just happened, so I assume this is his first take, right?
Oh, right. Just live reaction immediately.
I don't know.
The guy's still walking away.
Yeah, he never captures any of this stuff when it's happening, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
All right. Well, here's another one.
Oh, I don't know if conservatives know that liberals are literally speaking to each other in code out in public.
So, I swear to you, I was like, oh no. Woke.dad, he's gone too far. He's taking liberties.
He's finding new characters.
He started a woke dad impression. And I was like, and it's not even that good. It doesn't sound anything like him.
Doesn't sound like him at
all.
all.
And then I realized it's him.
This is Dan Alexander right here, yes.
Little clues for each other out in public that only we'll know. I call it quiet code, because that's why I'm telling you. I mean, there's like a whole world going on around conservatives, and they're just too dumb to even notice our obvious things. They're such a secret. It's kind of like, in order to prove this, I'm gonna go right to a transphobic ideology in order to show it to everybody how conservative I am. Oh wait, I'm liberal. So, what are some examples of this quiet code, you might ask? Because you are so enticed that you're just going to listen to me talk forever. Actually, nobody cares because it's not really a quiet code to everybody. Absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal. Knows exactly about your quiet code that you're telling everybody about.
I gotta be honest, and I hope this doesn't take away from Daniel's message. I couldn't follow what the fuck he was talking about.
Okay. Thank you so much. I wrote my notes. I am not picking up what he's putting down.
I have no idea. I mean, I could probably venture a guess, but I have no idea what his message was.
Okay, so this is my third or fourth time hearing it. I think I finally understood it this time.
Okay.
Because the first few times I was just like, what is he talking about? I think what he's saying is conservatives think they're being sneaky when they undermine trans people. They think that they're doing it in a way that other people don't recognize it. They're othering them.
I gotta tell you, I don't think they're that worried about it.
No, well, yeah, that's a good point right there. It's just like, so Dan's going on here going, no, we can tell you don't like trans people. They're just like, no, I know. I said it. I said those exact words. That's why.
Look at my YouTube comments when I talk about Jim Norton. They're pretty upfront about it.
Yeah, right. Well, the internet's a little bit different, but yeah, I think that's what he was saying there.
Yeah.
That was his most annoying character yet.
It was bizarre, and I don't know what message he got across, but I do like remembering, like, Daniel always wanted to be a star. He didn't necessarily, this is just the role, he's the Jaleel White of our time. It's not necessarily the role he wanted, it's just the one that hit, was this woke dad character.
That is true. It's like Dice. Dice, Pee Wee Herman, same thing. Did a lot of different characters. One of them stuck. This is the one that stuck.
He just became that guy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yay, super chats.
I have another Dan Alexander video and something else I want to show you guys you might be surprised by. But first, let's get caught up on the super chats with Dan August saying, Mike, what you gonna do when OJ Mania runs wild on you? JK, oh hey Karl.
Hello, sir.
I thought for a second we actually had the OJ Army in here.
Sunday at 10 a.m. I'll be addressing this.
Oh, I can't
bastard.
wait. I can't wait.
Son of a bitch.
Just try to wrap it up by 1. I get my Bills are playing the Broncos.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Pooterlific, $5 says Reborns give women a rush of oxytocin that they're real, like their real baby. That's what women get out of holding those creepy dolls. I believe that.
I have recency bias here, but that might be the craziest thing we've watched on the show.
I know it, and you're not even seeing how crazy it is, too. I'm just explaining it to you.
Num. Here comes the airplane.
It's wild. He's dressing them all and putting them all around the couch. Like you could have watched 2 Disney movies if you weren't propping up all your dolls before you went there. If you were a 7-year-old doing this, you'd get them. You'd make sure they seeked help.
You're a little old for,
right.
for that kind of stuff.
Rocco Orby 2002, $5 says Reborns, more like no-borns. Perhaps some of those dolls are the spirits of aborted fetuses. Perhaps.
Sadly, that's the idea.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Queefer Sutherland says, Lady K, uninvite OJ from Tukey Mania. He sucks.
I'm not going to put Karl in that position. He can decide on his own if he wants to ban OJ, but I'm not that kind of guy,
Listen, Tukey Mania is not my event.
Oh, that's right. I thought we were calling Hackamania now.
It's not my event either. None of these things are my event. Rocco Orby 2002, $5 says, new challenge. Show up at Woke Dad's coffee shop with a tuba case. See if he gives you free quad shot espressos. We might be getting too deep here. Yeah, we're getting too deep for even the real guy to understand these references.
That's right.
Reels with $5. Up Reels. The Blind Mike rules. OJ drools. Hashtag team sunglasses.
I appreciate the support. I need it in these times.
Thank you, Reels. Carl's Frosted Tips is added again in the super tip system.
I am so tired from jogging, so I'm not fat anymore. I'm breathing harder than George Floyd. Vote Karl on the creep off.
Thank you very much, Vinny. I appreciate that.
It's a nice one.
I didn't realize it was George Floyd Day. I'm glad Carl's Frosted Tips is here to remind us.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we should have the day off work.
Captain Cheese. Yeah, why are we working? Captain Cheese, $5 says, why go through all the trouble of getting this doll? Sex is so free and easy. People have real babies by mistake. Good point.
I'll be honest. I don't know if this woman's thinking that logically about it. But
I can't wait 9 months. You crazy?
Right.
9 months.
And these are her kids. What is she going to do? Get rid of them?
I want it down now. All right, I'll get you down now. Sorry I brought it up. Silence Do Good coming in with $5. Sorry I'm behind. Interested in your opinions. Who do you think became a bigger douche, Howard Stern or Opie Hughes? Career and financials aside. Okay. I think I'm going to go first. I apologize.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Howard became a bigger douche. Opie was always this guy.
Yeah.
Howard is completely transformed into Imus.
And Howard was respected and like the cool guy on his show. Like
Right.
Howard was the guy listeners wanted to be, whereas I don't think Opie was ever that, right? Even at like NEW.
From the time I started listening to Opie and Anthony, I was always an Anthony and Jim fan. I wasn't like mad at Opie.
Right.
When
Neither was
go
I,
back
but
and-
I never like.
Yeah.
I was not. I didn't. Anthony and Jim did a lot of masking of how bad Opie was.
Right. Yeah, I never had a problem with him, but going back, and I do remember very vividly, Opie would like not be on the show that day, and I always got up for work earlier than my wife, and I'd be like, "Hey, good news, no Opie today." And she'd be like, "Oh, great."
I didn't even do it that consciously, where I was like conscious of it. But if it was Opie without Anthony, I probably wouldn't listen that day.
Right.
And if it was Anthony without Opie, I would get excited, and I didn't even realize
Yes.
why necessarily. But
Yeah. Oh no, you did. You understood why.
yeah.
For sure. But yeah, no, Opie was never all that well respected. Everyone loved Anthony, and then of course Jim and the other characters they brought on, Patrice, of course. But Howard is just, it's crazy. And I don't know how he justifies it in his own head.
Well,
how
I
he's
have a
gotten to this
clip.
point.
Maybe you've seen this. I don't know that I'd seen it before, but I found a clip of Howard and Kimmel that I'm going to play on my Why You Laughing episode about it, where I'm like, it's crazy that more people aren't calling this guy out. Like he kind of, all his fans are obviously, but he kind of
Yeah.
tiptoes through the raindrops with some of the criticism.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. That's a good tease.
Yeah.
That is a good tease right there. All right. One more video from Woke Dad, and then I have something else I want to show you guys.
Here's a recap of my most favorite ceramic creations from this week.
Okay, so this is from Woke Dad, and what he's put up on the screen here is, looks like at WATP show is getting to Dan. He's training to do some explaining of his grift. We're not unhappy, Dan. We're calling out your lies. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So if you're just watching now, you're just tuning in, what we've discovered over the last couple of weeks is that Dan Alexander's been raising money for this art studio for children for years. 2 different GoFundMes. At his coffee shop, he's taking donations every day. And then he finally gets it operating, and he's turned it into his own pottery studio.
It's
And
a
he's in
mug
there-
sweatshop.
Yeah, he's in there all day, every day, just doing his own thing, and there's no children to be heard of. And so we've been funding this project that turned out to be just like his hobby.
Yeah.
But it's worse than that.
While I do this, I'd love to address the elephant in the room. Over the last week, I've fielded a little bit of criticism for the way that my content has changed. Most of what you used to see was social justice, human rights stuff, and a lot of what you see now is ceramic work. But here's the reality of the whole thing. They go hand in hand. You see, the proceeds from all of my creations go back into the art studio that I'm building to help support kids in vulnerable communities. But to be honest...
the art studio has become your pottery studio. So what you're saying is you're going to put the money back into your business. That's what all businesses do.
Well, it's not like he's selling the mugs and profiting from them.
No, it definitely is that. That's precisely what's going on here.
Damn it. I like the idea that he's like, this used to be a human rights channel. And now it's and Matt, like, is that what would have happened if Martin Luther King lived long enough? Where he's like, guys, let me make my vases. What's the big deal?
Yeah, right.
I gave up on that life.
He turns into George W. Bush. He's just painting things.
FBI's like, this guy's not so bad.
I don't even remember that dream. That was so long ago. Stop bugging me about it.
It's more than that. I don't just do social justice. That isn't my whole identity. So let me liken it to something for you. When I say I have a trans son, that's only one portion of his identity. That's not all of his identity.
It's only the most important part of his identity. It's the only reason why he's special. But He's also into racquetball.
You guys don't understand. He loves a house full of mugs. He
all
says
he
we need
wants.
40, 50 mugs.
Identity. To be honest, it's kind of bizarre that people just fall into niches on things like this because people are so unique
dare
and
you?
different and have so many
I know,
pieces.
this is crazy coming from this guy who's all he talks about is these minorities, vulnerable groups, and all this stuff. It's just like, hey guys, that's not your only thing, by the way. Like, yeah, no, I do that.
Like, it's like if on Why Are You Laughing, I just started talking about the Patriots, and people were like, hey, Mike, what is this? And I'm like, I'm a human being.
Right.
What do you need, an explanation for everything?
What do you think about the Mayo firing?
I think it's good. I think it was necessary.
People are so unique and different and have so many pieces and parts. So when I see content creators with a wide range of things that they discuss, I know it's because they're unique and different and complicated and complex. That is one of the most beautiful parts of the human experience, being unique and different. So if I can offer some advice, maybe some advice that'll help you in the world. Instead of criticizing others because they're not showing you what you want to see, maybe you should just look within a little bit and try and figure out what parts of yourself you're not happy with and why you're sharing that unhappiness with the rest of the world. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Seems almost like Daniel's ignoring the part we had a problem with.
Right. This is like Aaron Immel level gaslighting. It's
Yeah,
like completely changing the whole thing. It's like, oh, well, if you don't like me begging for money, then maybe you're the asshole. You're like, well, no. It's not what's going on at all. So this is what I found pretty crazy. On his Great Start Coffee Cart Facebook page, I loaded this up and I was scrolling through, and he's got a lot of pictures of his mugs, and he's showing his mugs off. And then there's this photo of the mugs on display in the coffee shop here, and you can see the price tag. They're $35 each, Mike.
Oh, tremendously. Give me 40.
$35 for one of these mugs. And it says all proceeds go to support local art studio that will support kids. That will support kids someday.
I swear to God, one day we're going to support a kid by hook or by crook.
It's crazy. Listen, I'm a capitalist, so I don't care. Make it $80. If you can sell them, if you can sell them, you can sell them. But there is almost no cost to him for these clay things that he's building. The kiln was free. It was donated to him.
And what is so like everyone in his community, the people he knows that want to support this, they all buy a mug.
Yeah.
Then what? How many more mugs do they need? Like, are we only making mugs here, Daniel? What's the business?
Yeah, that's a great point. I only own so many mugs. I'm never out mug shopping anymore.
I frankly have too many.
Yeah, right.
Every time I unload the dishwasher, I'm like, we got too many fucking mugs.
We don't need this many mugs. How much coffee are we going to drink this week? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know what's the long-term goal. I'm starting to think, Mike, that this is his hobby that he enjoys doing, and now he's trying to profit from it.
Oh, you think maybe he always wanted to be an artist, and now he's got his own toy-making shop?
Could you imagine if I started WATP, and I'm like, guys, I just want to raise awareness for this cause. It's really important to me. And then the Opie episode comes out, and everyone's paying attention. I'm like, all right, fuck all the stuff I was talking about before. Opie's an idiot, right? Hey, let's watch some clips,
This is like we gave Daniel, not to get too inside Barstool again, but like on Surviving Barstool this year, it seems like Dave Portnoy just put in people in the game that would make it so he wins, basically. That's kind of what Daniel's doing in a way where it's like this thing, like, hey, donate to me so I can live the life I always wanted to live and make my mugs, and I can paint, and I can do all these like, he talks about his dream where he's like, it was always my dream to be an artist, and your guys' donations powered that. It's like, no, you could have. People do art at home. They don't need to build a building for it.
He literally said, I always wanted to be an art teacher. Then go to school to become an art teacher.
Right.
That's how art teachers do it. It's very doable.
Be a sub. It's very easy.
Yes, anyone can sub. That's a good place to start. All right, let's check in on some voicemails. Whoarethese.com to find our voicemail number.
Forgive me for calling the WATS comment line to reference something from the Blind Mike project, but I didn't know how else to get to the Blind Mike. And Karl, I'd like to get your take on this.
Okay.
The Joe Matarese Rocky Balboa impersonation.
Yes.
Okay, a couple things. First, it's not funny. Second, everyone can do a Rocky Balboa impersonation.
Ridiculous.
There's two impersonations that everyone can do. One is an Indian 7-Eleven store clerk. The other is Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
Everyone can do Stuttering John too, but nobody knows who he is. So, Carl, now with John gone, maybe focus more on Joe Matarese so I can stay angry all the time like I am right now. And thank you. Fuck you, Blind Mike.
No problem, sir. The problem is Joe doesn't post enough. But I gotta say, anyone can do Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, big deal. Who would think to have Rocky Balboa comment on Saquon Barkley? That's the genius.
That's the genius. That's why you don't have a comedic mind to come up with that.
Right.
I have to tell you, as far as Joe Matarese goes, a week from tomorrow, a bunch of us are getting together to go see Joe Matarese live comedy at the Carlson. He reached
I
out
thought you were going
to
to say to make fun of Joe Matarese.
He reached out. Well, yeah, he reached out to Vinnie Paulino. He got himself booked in the Rickles room.
Excellent.
And so I'll be reporting on all of that.
You think there's a chance you guys are dat fanned and escorted out to the building?
There's definitely a chance of that, yes. But I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
I read you that text message. That was a while ago. I'll read it again.
Okay.
We got a text message to our voicemail number. It said,
right.
I'd just like to say that you and Blind Mike have saved my life. By making fun of internet retards, I have finally found a safe space. Well, this person wasn't alone.
Hey, Carl, this is for Who Are These Socials. Carl, Blind Mike, I just want you to know that if it wasn't for Who Are These Socials, I probably would have killed myself at least 10 times by now.
Yep.
I want you guys to know how greatly you guys have affected me, and you should brag about it to all of your friends all the time.
I'm going to start doing that. Thank you, sir.
Hey, just another day at the office, my friend. No need for thanks.
Listen, I'm just like a firefighter or a police officer. I'm just,
right.
I see danger, I run towards it. You know, I'm
Doing
going to
our
run away.
jobs. Yeah.
Right. That's what we do over here, you know? Very modest about it.
Yeah.
I thought that the gayest thing I ever heard was a Blind Mike podcast. But no, I'm wrong. They have that stupid cunt, the one that says demure or whatever.
Jules.
She's on a fucking Instagram commercial. Ugh. I think mostly like on Amazon or whatever.
Oh, no.
But MG. They show her ugly fat face for 1 second, and she says that stupid shit. They make it seem like it was such a big deal last year. Fuck that bitch. She ain't. I wonder where the fuck she found that word. I'm just wondering, because it wasn't from a fucking book. She must have heard it from somewhere.
The person does not like Jules LeBron. Apparently.
We're blowing past. Why am I second on that list?
Yeah, no, I liked that part.
I don't care.
The lead up was good. So you saw Jules doing an Instagram commercial, even though Jules is famous from TikTok? Interesting strategy.
Yeah, well, she's expanding her brand.
Interesting strategy. All right, one more voicemail here.
Yo, Carl. Your boy Matt Cox, Inside True Crime. He's got a friend named Hollywood Wade.
Uh-huh.
Crime and Entertainment Podcast. And your boy, John Cirasani, was on it this year. Oof-ah. Don't call me back.
I will check that out.
That's not the one we talked about from a while back?
Is it when we play that again? Let's listen.
Crime and Entertainment Podcast, and your boy John Cirasani.
I got to back up a little further than that, don't I?
Inside True Crime. He's got a friend named Hollywood Wade.
Hollywood Wade.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar? I'll have to check that out.
I don't know. He was on a Remember, there was a podcast. I thought you knew the guy or were familiar with the guy or something, and Cirasani was on it, but maybe it wasn't that one.
Yeah, I don't remember now.
Well, we'll get to it.
Yes, we definitely will. I did tell you that Alex Stein was messaging me about how John Cirasani is a great guy.
Yeah.
My buddy Drew went down to Dallas to do Dave Landau's show.
Mm-hmm.
And went out to the comedy club, and Alex Stein was performing comedy with Dave Landau at the show, and recognized Drew from the Dabbleverse.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Alex Stein was just like, "Hey, I know you. Hey, say hi to Carl." So that was very
that's
cool.
fun.
But Drew said that Alex Stein was very funny, and of course Dave's a great comic. So that's a fun time. But I guess today it was snowing in Dallas.
My God, what a topsy-turvy world.
I know. Where's all this climate change? What's going on here? You know what? I do know where one thing is, and that is blindmike.net. It's on the internet.
It certainly is, yes. And I would appreciate if you went there, because that's where all my links are. If you want to support any of my shows, whether it's Blind Mike Project, Why Are You Laughing, or Who Are These Socials, all the links are at blindmike.net. You can subscribe to my Patreon or become a YouTube member for as little as $5 a month. And we are live on the Blind Mike Project every Sunday at 10 a.m. I have some business to take care of this weekend. Apparently there's a podcast feud brewing that I have to address. My name has been dragged through the mud, so I'm going to have to give someone a spanking, it seems. And Why Are You Laughing? The Greg Giraldo Midlife Vices episode is up right now, and next week will be Richard Pryor, followed by the Jimmy Kimmel episode I was mentioning. So keep an eye out for those, and I appreciate the support.
And Who Are These Podcasts? WhoAreThese.com. Anywhere you get podcasts, subscribe. It's free. We get 2 episodes every single week. We just did a show yesterday with Adam Bush that dropped this morning, and it's a show called Dan Has Jokes. This guy, Dan Caper, interviewed Tom Myers back in 2019, and it is hysterical because he talks all about the science of joke writing and the craft of comedy.
I bet Tom has a lot of insight to that.
He really builds Tom up. He's like, Tom, what's it like to be so famous? And Tom's like, I haven't really changed at all, even through all of this.
I got to tell you, you know who I got a message from this week?
Who's that?
Said, thanks for the kind words on your program, my buddy Tom Myers.
No shit.
Yeah, we're good pals.
Well, I know he's checking you out, and I heard that he's...
I'm sure you did your thing where you mock him and you're too good for his comedy, but just know he's a good buddy of mine.
Mike, you have to check out this episode we did because near the end of the episode, this guy Dan goes, okay, I've been working on this premise. I don't think the punchline's not great. Maybe you can help me punch it up a little bit.
Okay.
And so he tells Tom the joke, and Tom tries to help him. And watching Tom's comedy mind work in real time, worth the price of admission right there.
I have no doubt about it.
Yes.
I bet Tom enhanced that joke a great deal.
Definitely worth checking out. Patreon.com/Who Are These Podcasts. You support the show for as little as $5 a month, but you also get the entire back catalog of all the bonus shows we've done. There's over 100. It includes the crossover shows that we do. Like I'm doing one with Dick Masterson this Tuesday, the Dick Show. But it also includes all of the reviews of Stuttering John's book, Easy for You to Say, and our new series, Living in the Past with Stuttering John, a lot of Patrick Michael, and a lot of things that we've done with Who Are These Podcasts. So check that out if and when you get a chance. We appreciate you being here every Thursday at 6 p.m. on the Who Are These Podcasts channel for Who Are These Socials. This is where Mike and I do it live.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Damn straight.
Let's go watch Penn State, Notre Dame.
Have the day you deserve, everyone.
Anyway, social media, I'll catch you later, man.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. They're like, whoa!
Who are these socials?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Folks, what you were about to see is real.
With Karl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.
Who could have thought of that?
WATS.
Oh, and before you go, I forgot, big announcement. Monday night, we're doing a Who Are These Socials episode right after the Balin Dupree show on TLC. I almost forgot that we're going to do
good we didn't even mention it.
We're going to do I know, it's so important to us in this world. We didn't even bring it up, but we're doing a show Monday night as soon as the Balin Dupree show ends.
All right, yes. See you then.
See you then. Whoops.